Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Serge T. In this video I'll be talking about Beach Break, a special edition of AEW Dynamite. Apparently there is a number 2 parter of the Beach Break, and that's on Rampage, but I'm not watching that. I might. Just kind of want to see Sheeta and Mariah May go at it. We'll see. If you guys see it on my channel, then I watch it. If not, business as usual. Besides, we have what do you call it, Money in the Bank on Saturday, so I won't be watching Collision either. But anyway, let's get on with this. Now, of course, this is Beach Break. It's January 3rd, 2024 edition, and the backbone of AEW, Daniel Garcia. He gets to prove that in a match against Will Osprey. And he doesn't intend on losing tonight and puts that on his mother's life. I promise you, he says, and MJF comes out and tells him to focus on winning tonight. That Daddy Magic lets Max know that for all he has done for Garcia, he is cool with that, and Max is alright with him, and they both shake hands. Daddy Magic's going to be feeling like he's going to have to take that back, but those of you who watched Dynamite tonight know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who are watching this, you might hear some popping in the background. There's some idiots that are still popping off some fireworks. They probably got too many. They bought too many at the stands there and got to pop them all off. I mean, I'm coming home from work and I'm seeing on the freeway a bunch of fireworks going off on the sides. It was nice to look at, but I don't like it when I'm in my house and I'm hearing that nonsense going on. But fair warning for those of you hearing popping in the background. Now, semis is in the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament kickoff tonight, and we see the American Dragon come out first, and his opponent is the bastard Pac of Death Triangle. This is actually the first match where it's going to result in the first finalist in the Owen Hart Tournament. The other matches that are happening tonight are semis. I mean, not semis, but they're opening rounds going into the semis. So we'll see. Holy shit, chants ring out. Nothing has happened yet, you sheep. Taz even said so, and Excalibur tries to make an excuse by saying these two have only wrestled each other twice, and that is more than 15 years ago. So shut up, people, and let's see if this match lives up to the hype. This is wrestling. The sheep in the crowd start chanting, yes it is, you dummies. Tell me something I don't know. A lot of offense here, and in an entertaining sequence, both men trade arm drags. A trip by Pac, who flips over an attempted trip by Danielson, who is on the receiving end of a basement dropkick by Pac, who says that Pac can't be just as technically sound as the American Dragon. Pac flips out of the corner, and Danielson goes to the top, backflips over, and tries to clothesline Bryan, who ducks under and goes to deliver his patented clothesline, but Pac ducks and both men collide, doing high cross bodies and falling to the mat in a heap. I might not have read that right. Sometimes my notes are loopy, but okay, that's what that was, because it said Ak instead of Pac. Pac flips out of the corner, and Danielson goes to the top, backflips over Pac, who tries to clothesline Bryan, who ducks under and goes to deliver his patented clothesline, but Pac ducks and both men collide, doing high cross bodies and falling to the mat in a heap. There you go. Fucking notes. Now Pac flies to the outside with a moonsault on the waiting Danielson, and the action returns in ring, and Danielson looks to fight out of the brutalizer submission by Pac, and he does get into the ropes. A high round kick finishes a series of offense and looks to finish off Pac, but yes kicks, and this goes with the yes kicks, I should say, and this goes outside, and Bryan connects with a knee, but Pac connects with a kick and hits the diving elbow on a prone Danielson, and inside delivers a brutal pile driver with the near fall. But Danielson slaps the label lock on Pac, and Pac, will he tap? And he doesn't, and gets out as this great match continues. And Pac cuts off Danielson on the top turnbuckle and delivers a sheer drop avalanche brainbuster. Sick ass move. And the impact, I am sure, was felt by both men. And can they continue? Well, you can't count these men out. And Pac now has Danielson in a position and looks to deliver the Black Arrow. But the pool is empty, and this allows Danielson to start psyching himself up, perhaps delivering the Busaiku knee. He does, but he can't capitalize as he is in great pain. But he goes for the pin, but Pac turns it into another brutalizer attempt, but Danielson turns that into a pin attempt and transitions into a label lock, but Pac transitions into a pin attempt. But Danielson turns that into a crucifix and pins Pac and advances to the finals in the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. He's in the finals and waits on the Jay White versus Jeff Jarrett. On the Jeff White versus either Jeff Jarrett and the wild card entrant. Tonight, Willow and her former BFF, Kris Statlander, face off in a semi-final match and will face the winner of the Mariah May Hikaru Shida match. Now, speaking of Willow, she's backstage and she says, "Nothing matters. Smile anyway." She says it all the time, says Willow. It's her mantra, and she doesn't say it because it looks good on a t-shirt. It does, but those are the words she lives by. If she didn't, she would crumble up in a ball in a fetal position. She does it for her fans, for her fans, but Kris Statlander and Stokely mock her because they don't understand. Smile anyways for all those who are going through tough times. And she is going to become a 2-time Owen Hart Foundation winner by beating Stat and moving on to Wembley and becoming the AEW Women's World Champion. So nothing matters. Smile anyway. She's screaming that as she goes off and with a lot of enthusiasm, and Renee smiling. Now, the ROH World Champ is in the ring. That, of course, is Mark Briscoe, and he came close to winning the TNT title, but Jack Perry won it because he must have ate an extra bowl of Lucky Charms and shoved a horse shoe up his ass, says the World Heavyweight Champion of ROH. And he brings up Shark Week. That means blood, and that means blood and guts, and he's declaring himself a part of Team AEW, but then he's blindsided by the scapegoat. Okada comes in and delivers the Rainmaker on Kyle O'Reilly, who made the save. And the Young Bucks deliver the EVP trigger on Briscoe, laying him out. But the Acclaim show up. Hope they get the same as O'Reilly and Briscoe, but no, they just run off the Elite. This was the big announcement by TK that there was going to be somebody that's going to declare already for the for the Blood and Guts, and it was Mark Briscoe. Is that big news? And why are people declaring themselves for that? It would be nice to have like matches or something to set up. You know what I'm saying? Like let everybody have a shot to be on that team, because a lot of people don't like the EVPs, the Elite. They don't like them, so they want to have an opportunity to get on that. Maybe they're going to do that, but the fact that Mark Briscoe just comes out and declares himself, I like him. He's a lot of fun to watch, but let him earn his spot. Don't just declare. What is this, like Royal Rumble, where people are declaring that they're going to be in there, or the Money in the Bank, right? It's here too. People want to declare themselves. I want to be a challenger for the championship, Now, Mariah May versus Hikaru Shida is happening on Rampage. I want to see this, but so maybe I will watch Rampage, maybe not. But the Timeless One gives her a pep talk, and Mariah May will have the support of Toni Storm and also Mina Shirakawa, who will be doing so via satellite. And then Mariah May, she's told by her icon to say those iconic words, chin up, tits out, and watch out for the shoe. It's just a saying now. I loved it in the beginning when Toni Storm would do that, and then all of a sudden it's all quiet, and all of a sudden Renee ducks because the shoe comes right for her. Now it's just a saying. It's just a phrase. It's a catchphrase now. Now another semis for the Owen. As Statlander comes out, accompanied by Stokely Hathaway as she awaits Willow Nightingale. That'd be a cool name, Willow Night. Well, actually, I don't know why I said that, because he said Willow Night. He was about to say Nightingale, and then that's all Justin Blowhard Roberts was able to get out. And the match starts on the ramp, and Willow delivers a pounce which sends Statlander down the rampway. Statlander is even on the receiving end of a suplex on the outside. And Nightingale is a house of fire. I'm like, damn. She's trying to get hers and also get some of Statlander for what she's been doing to her, or what she did to her in the past. Statlander isn't for nothing if she can't get the momentum back in her direction by delivering a back elbow on Willow from the second turnbuckle. Even though she slipped a little, but she pulled it off. But an emphatic high boot by Willow knocks down Stat, but she and Willow end up on the outside apron, and nothing good can come from this as Stat tries to German suplex Willow to the outside. But Willow knocks Stat back, and she falls to the mat and flattens Stat with a cannonball, but I think she wanted to take out Stokely as well. Inside, she delivers a dropkick to Statlander and connects with a lariat that turns Stat inside out for a near fall. Only a near fall. But Stat gets back into it, delivers an axe kick for a near fall and a release German, folding up Willow. But Willow delivers a German suplex of her own and does it from the second turnbuckle, driving Stat into the mat. Yeah, that rhymes. A series of moves where Stat delivers a high kick to Willow as she is seated on the top turnbuckle, goes for a tombstone, which is always impressive. She's able to scoop up, Willow Nightingale into that tombstone from that position. But it's reversed by Willow, and a series of roll-ups end up with her being driven into the mat for a near fall. And perhaps frustration and desperation take over as Stokely introduces a chain at ringside, and Stat tries to use it, nearly hitting Stokely, and Willow rolls up Statlander from behind and wins it and advances to the finals in the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament, where she will await the winner of the Hikaru Shida Mariah May match. Now Jeff Jarrett gets emotional, and this walks off as Renee asks him about his wild card opponent in tonight's Owen. And Jay Lethal lets us know that tonight is all about honoring Jeff Jarrett's best buddy, Owen Hart. Now, Dr. Brit Baker, DMD, is back on Dynamite, and she looks damn good, and glad to see her back. Man, she had like a 8 or a 9 pack. I don't know what she's been doing, but she's been working her butt off, and she looks great. Great shape, looking like she's ready to take on anybody, and maybe even challenge for a world title. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, but let's talk. Our past is our lesson, says Brit Baker. Our present is a gift, and our future is our motivation. Let's start with the past. For the last 10 months, I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering, where's Brit? And any time that question was asked, the answer was given. She's injured. Yeah, but I think you guys know me by now that it would take more than a couple of herniated discs and a torn hip labrum to keep me away from this place. Back in November, physically, yeah, I was banged up, and I was probably running on empty. But every time I looked myself in the mirror, I said, I'm good. Until one day I wasn't, because one day I started feeling really sick, and the room was spinning. My vision was blurry, and my right arm was tingly and numb. And it was something, Didn't feel right. But I looked myself in the mirror and said, I'm good. She keeps trying to reassure herself that she's okay. She's good, I tried to open a bottle of water and I couldn't. My entire right side stopped working. To sum this story up, I spent a week in the hospital with a diagnosis of TIA, which is transient ischemic attack. And the doctors explained to me that, as an instance, when your brain is not getting enough blood for that moment, and it is a major warning sign for stroke. So much that, as they call it, a mini stroke. And at that moment, I looked myself in the mirror and I said, Brit, you are not good. What? Says an asshole in the crowd who kept piping up and not shutting the fuck up. I'm like, it's not about you, assholes. All right? We got someone who he just came back. We haven't heard from her in ages. And some idiot wants to make it about themselves. You know? How about you join the crowd when they cheer and stop trying to make it about yourself? Because no one cares. The camera's not going to pan over to you and show you. Get a grip. Get a life, too. My God. One of the greats in this women's division is talking, and you want to make it about yourself. Shut the fuck up. Seriously. Now, Brit continues. And I told Tony I want to stay home. I need to get myself right. And he said, all right, Brit, let me know when you're good. The crowd applauses. Let's jump to the present, says Dr. Brit. I'm here, I'm cleared, good to hear, and I'm healthy. But I haven't, to be honest with you guys, in my entire professional wrestling career, I was never more nervous than I was Sunday at Forbidden Door. And you're wondering why. He says, all you did was stand at the top of the ramp, Brit. But I was never more unsure of myself. I never doubted myself more because I didn't know if anybody was gonna give a damn that I was about to walk through that tunnel. And you're cheering right now because you all have felt that. You felt the fear of rejection, and it is rational. And it's persistent as hell, and the fear of rejection is often worse than the rejection itself. Ain't that the truth? But vulnerability is showing up even when you have no control over what's going to happen. And Sunday night at Forbidden Door, when I needed professional wrestling, when I needed All Elite Wrestling, when I needed you, you welcomed me back with open arms and DMD chants. And of course the DMD chants start up. And why would she feel that way? Of course we would welcome her back with open arms. Before Forbidden Door, I was wondering, where is the lovely Brit Baker? What is she doing? And here she is. She continues, and for that, I will always be in your corner. Thank you, Dr. Brit. Because at the end of the day, I'm one of you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I definitely felt that. And I'm sure everybody who was there and watching felt that too. Let's go to the future, which is your motivation. And I'm going to leave you with this. When you are going through a hard time, go through that shit. Be present and feel all of it, because if you do, it's going to make it that much better when you get to the other side. And you will, we all will. Because we all possess the impulse to be elite. And speaking of elite, I have to bring this up because I heard we have a new female face of All Elite Wrestling. And it must be so rewarding for her to be able to call herself that after shedding blood, sweat, tears in this very ring, and building this company from the ground up. That must feel great for her, right? Listen to this, little slights to her, because she's pretty much talking about herself, not Mercedes, but she's kind of being sarcastic. And that's what I got right away when she was saying these certain things, and it made me just smile from ear to ear. And CEO, those 3 letters. I'm sure she worked so hard and studied for over a decade to earn those 3 letters. You know what that means? She studied for 10 years to become a doctor of medical dentistry, DMD. I believe that's what it means, but she studied over 10 years to become that and earn the DMD. That's another slight right there. Another jab to the CEO. And it is honestly brilliant to manipulate your fan base to chant those 3 letters by piping them into your entrance music. Yeah, very annoying. And she got some shit from the audience with that statement. But guys, I don't think we need music to tell our new friend the only 3 letters that matter in this company are DMD. Boom, boom, boom. And the car arrives and is honking, and we are gonna have to sit through another promo. Make this short, Mercedes, please. And she is going to have a championship celebration. The what do you call it? The EVPs. Matthew and Nicholas. Greet her and tell her your celebration is awaiting you, champ. And, she's going to have this a championship celebration. And then Britt is in the ring. And has to see this take place. And then the double champ is on her way to the ring. And Britt is not pleased. It's like, beat her ass, Britt. Don't back down. And I'm sure she won't, as the DMD chants ring out. She speaks and wants everyone to celebrate with the double champion. This is Mercedes Mone. And Britt tells her she gets it. She ruined her moment at Forbidden Door, so Mercedes is there to ruin hers. Shut the fuck up, chance to begin. They're addressing that not at Dr. Britt. They're addressing that as at the champion herself. And I couldn't agree more. Hearing Mercedes is like nails on the chalkboard. I say that, and I know you guys who've watched my videos know that I've talked about how much I do like her. I love Mercedes, but when she's a heel and she talks, it's very grating. I like it when she came back, or not came back, when she debuted and she was talking as Mercedes Varnado. She wasn't talking like the Sasha Banks or the Mercedes Monet character. She was talking like herself. I'd rather her do that and be a babyface, but this is where we're at. So this is pretty much what's bringing money to her. So she's gonna stick with that. And then Britt has a big smile on her pretty face. Monet tells Britt and the crowd to look at what a real champ looks like, and Britt responds, "All in." 2 words. All in, Mercedes, because she wrestled in the first All In here in Chicago. I was the first female to go all in on All Elite Wrestling, and by signing my contract, my name on the contract. By signing my name on that contract, I wrestled at All In last year, Wembley Stadium, when your ass was looking like a broken bitch with a broken leg in the stands. So I want to face you at All In. Mercedes puts a finger in Britt's face and pushes her back and answers, "Britt, I'm never broke. I stay rich," she says as the crowd chants, "You fucked up." And she says since she is double champion, there is a long list of girls who are waiting in the back, so you need to get in the back of the line, bitch. Oh, like you did, Mercedes? I mean, right. You just got put in the title match. Your first match was a title match. You didn't have to get in back of the line. I'm sure there was plenty of ladies there that wanted a shot, at the TBS champion. So where's she coming from? I guess she's playing the heel. I get it. But she didn't wait in no line. So what is her point of saying that? Brit Baker is pretty much playing your card there, right? She's playing the way she's kind of trying to play the rules there like a fiddle. Like she wants to own that, and she's like, "Well, I'm going to, jump the line, and I'm going to challenge you." And all she did was challenge her. It's up to her to accept, right? But the one thing I noticed that at least if it was that the graphic didn't show up right away, that it's approved for All In. You know how they're notorious for doing that. When there was an impromptu challenge, how the hell did they have a thing, like in the past where it's an impromptu challenge, it's something that no one expected, and then they got the graphic. I've said that ad nauseum, and it just gets me every time, And then, "Bitch," says Brett. What line looks behind, Mercedes? There's no line behind you. And then here's Mercedes. She says, "Well, I see you're a fan, so you always know what I'm going to say next. There's a price to pay when you mess with Mercedes Mone." As she holds both titles up, and then she puts them on her shoulders and just walks out. Saunters out like Mercedes Mone only can do. Now, that was a very, very good promo, a very good interaction between the two. You talk about banger matches. I think this was a banger promo. We saw Brit Baker come back, and she really, really put her heart out there, and she shows she cares. The advice she gives to all of us, some of the things that she said in her thing, it's like something that I need to hear, because sometimes there are situations where I'm like going, I'm good, and I'm not, A lot of people can take a lot from what she said. What did Monet say? Pretty much the same shit. Pretty much the same shtick. Pretty much the same thing. She ends it with her catchphrase, her tagline, her slug line, whatever you want to call it. You know, and it's just, yeah, whatever. I guess that's her strength. Just saying whatever she always says so that it makes her look somewhat decent on the mic. But I tend to agree that she is kind of weak on promos. Maybe it's just because when she's a heel, it doesn't come off naturally. It does come off naturally when she's a babyface, but that's another time story for another time of whether or not she's ever going to become a babyface. I mean, wasn't she kind of like that when she beat Willow and she kind of was like on her side and congratulating her and all that stuff, right? Kind of showing some little bit of respect. But it was a good promo and quite a lengthy one, but it was a good one. If you can do that and keep people's attention, you got gold. You got that's money, and you can do that. So good on them both. Congratulations to both ladies. They did a good job, and it's definitely going to build towards All In. This is the first thing that first match that I guess we could say that already has something going there. It's not official yet, but they're going to make it official. We already know that's the world title, and for the men and the women's, that's already set. It's just a matter of who's going to be champion and then who's going to be the challenger who wins the Owen for the men and women. Now, Osprey tells Don Callis backstage that he wants out of the family. He has given him a lot, and Don lets him out no problems. But really? Especially when he tells Osprey that one day he may ask him for a favor. There's always something there, right, with Don Callis. To let him out that easy. Even Kyle Fletcher was in the back there. Kind of had a look on his eyes when he said he wanted out. He kind of had a look like, and then he even went with Don. Don goes, hey, let's go, Kyle, let's go. He went with him. And is he on his own now? Maybe until the time comes where, maybe that favor he's going to ask is a shot at that international championship. One of these guys is going to attack him, and then, then that's the favor. I want that shot. We want a shot at that title. And I am the boring tree, man. After a great promo by Brit, her interaction with Mercedes, I have to digest this shit. So I skipped it. Don't care what happened. I mean, did I miss something? I doubt it. Did I miss anything? I doubt it. But then, right after we see Joe, Hook, and Shibata, and they're going to take on Brian Cage in the Gates of Agony. And I guess what I missed, while I'm fast forwarding, I see Jericho with some type of a look in contract or whatever it was. And I guess it was something that said that, and I guess Taz was removed as a result of it from the announce booth. Not only that, but the arena as well. And I'm like, okay, I guess I really did miss it. I didn't miss anything because Taz is a fountain of inane babble on commentary. I guess it's a good thing. Like I said, he's got a great voice for commentary, but listen to some of the stuff he says, and I don't care how much you love him. I love Taz. I think he's great. Great in the past as a wrestler, great as a commentator on SmackDown. Here comes the pain. Remember when you would always say that? Well, here comes the pain. Right? You'd always say that. I love when you would say that. But, as he gets older, as he gets on in age and he gets on in his commentary career, it just seems like he gets worse. I don't know. But like I said, Joe, Hook, and Shibata take on Brian Cage in the Gates of Agony. And I am drained because of that Brit Baker promo because, it took a lot out of me. Meaning, I'm there writing notes as she's talking, trying to get everything she says so that I can, say it and then talk about it, So, I'm not going to give this or anything from this moment any full descriptions so this match ends with a triple chokeout. And Hook's team wins. And of course they do. The Cage and the Gates of Agony are bums. And they will always be booked that way. It's like, what a shame. When I say they're bums, I'm not saying that to be insulting. Because they are shown to be bums. These guys, a combined weight of what? Maybe 700 pounds, maybe? Big dudes. And they can't win matches to save their life. They do, but probably on ROH. When's the last time they won a match on Dynamite? I can't recall. I think, like I've said in the past, Gates of Agony would be a great team in WWE. Put them on NXT. They'll run roughshod over their tag team division. Then they'll go to the main roster. And who are they going to face there? The Street Profits, right? AOP, even the current champs, Theory and Waller, right? The Judgment Day. What do they have here? Who do they have here as tag teams? I can't recall. Yes, they have tag teams, but it's like Acclaimed, FTR, right? Who else? Gates of Agony, right? I don't know. And then there's a post-match attack, and oh my, who cares? Because I can't stand the boring tree. It was rough seeing, what's his name? Hook go through a table. But where's this going to? Where's this leading to? We've seen enough of this. The boring tree and then those guys. Where is the payoff in this match? Is Joe going to end up facing, what do you call it, Jericho for the FTW Championship? I mean, what about Minoru Suzuki? Didn't he lay out a challenge? Did it already happen? Did it happen on Collision or Rampage? Maybe it did. Kind of sucks because I'm a fan of Minoru Suzuki, so I missed it if it happened already. But that's that. So let's move on. A first round match in the Owen and Jeff Jarrett. If he wins, will go on to face Jay White in the semis. And who does the EVPs pick? And it's who I said in my last video, Hangman Adam Page, or one of my vids. I think I just in passing said that maybe he's one of them, but then I said, didn't they get rid of him? I mean, they ended up like indefinitely suspending him, so couldn't be him. I think that's if you heard that, that's a damn siren. Because these people are shooting off fireworks, and I think they're setting off fires. I've seen enough fire trucks to last me a whole year. It's just like, what's going on, But that's what happens every time when these knuckleheads shoot off fireworks, and it's not controlled. It's not a controlled situation or a controlled area, and they're just flying off everywhere. And how hot it's been, especially here where I live. It's like 100 degrees for 8 straight days. Northern Cali, man. Luckily, a good thing for air conditioning. When I'm at work, I live in an air-conditioned building. Because when you go out, ooh-wee, man, the heat just fucking right in your face, like an alien face hugger. Right in your face. The heat's like that. Bam. You know what I mean? Can't wait for winter. But anyway, I'm thinking, I am thinking like, wasn't Hangman indefinitely suspended? But I guess it's been lifted. And we'll see if the last outlaw, that's what they call Jeff Jarrett, see if he'll outlast the Hangman. It's brought up that 70 matches. Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart competed in those matches. And I've seen a number of those in WWE. That's when they were in a tag team, of course. So a lot is riding on this match. And I am pulling for Jeff, but it may not be. And in the end, after being brutalized by the Hangman with a buckshot lariat followed by a deadeye, he hit him with a deadeye earlier too. And then Jarrett falls to Page and doesn't honor Owen the way he would have wanted. He ends up in the ring. His wife Karen is in the ring, gives him a hug and a kiss to assure him that everything's okay, but she's still concerned. He was laid out, didn't get up. So hopefully he's all right, and hopefully he can bounce back from this. And then the question I begged I asked the question to myself. I said, is Hangman the 5th man in Blood and Guts as part of Team Elite? Well, backstage, Renee goes to talk to him, but then Hangman is greeted by the Elite, and they approach him to be their 5th man, the 5th member of the Elite, Team Elite. And he reminds, as he grabs Matthew by the collar and pushes him back a little, he reminds them that he is not a child, nor their puppet, and he's not in the Elite. He is in the Owen, and he will win it. Before he left, remember that, especially when he was going after old boy there, Swerve, and he was very passionate, very determined to become the world champion no matter what. Right? That was before he got indefinitely suspended. So you know that he definitely wants to be at All In to face the world champion. Hey, he might face Swerve Strickland, and we might have another banger of a match between those two. That last match they had was insane. And now it's main event time, as Daniel Garcia is accompanied by MJF, who will challenge Will Osprey for the International Championship. Hopefully you didn't hear me read that and think that I'm saying MJF is going to challenge him. No, it's Daniel Garcia. He's accompanied by MJF. And of course, the holy shit chants start again. Nothing has happened yet, you assholes. What the fuck? You guys use that chant so sparingly. You know what I mean? Learn to know when to use it. My God, man. It's a very evenly matched contest, and Garcia is a phenomenal wrestler. He is. He can go toe-to-toe with the best of them, and then Garcia should be at an advantage due to the grueling match that Osprey had in that world title match against Swerve at Forbidden Door. Now, the thing about it is that Garcia, with all the goofy stuff he does and the dancing, the gyrating, and then people forget that he's a great wrestler. Remember back in the day when Daniel Bryan was trying to put him under his tutelage and telling him you don't need that sports entertainment. So this is when Daniel Garcia was part of the JAS. You don't need that sports entertainment junk. Be a wrestler. Be a pro wrestler. And everybody in the audience was saying, you're a wrestler. They're chanting that to him. And that's true. And he was really, really good here. A lot of this great trading of offense. Daniel Garcia is pretty much showing that, hey, you may be the international champion and you're known for your wrestling expertise and all, but Osprey, I'm going to show you what the fuck I can do. But then we see, even after a lariat that turns Osprey inside out, MJF eggs on Garcia to use the Dynamite Diamond ring. I forgot about that thing. Because we haven't seen it or even a match involving that. Wasn't that supposed to take place at Double or Nothing? Did it? I mean, where's that ring been? In his special case or cabinet back home or something like that? But he brings it out, he busts it out, he gives it to Garcia. I don't know when he gave it to him. I didn't even see it when he gave it to him. But he had it in his hand, he takes it, puts it back in Max's hand, just pass him on his shoulder, and then Max is like this, all right, that's cool. You don't need to use it. You don't want to use it, that's fine. Like I said, he isn't about that. But then as he turns around, he is hit with the hidden blade, and Osprey wins this and retains his title. Now, you see him in the ring, Max with Osprey. Now, before I go on, Osprey did give him some respect, Daniel Garcia. Kind of going like this, pointing at him, pointing to the crowd, and the crowd cheers for him. He gets out the ring, goes to the back. Ow. And then you hear Max go, hey, it's all my fault. My bad. I was the one that, distracted you. Whatever he was saying, however he was saying it. But he pretty much was taking it on himself. The onus was on him. I'm the one at fault here. I'm sorry and all that shit. And then, in what was a very predictable situation, MJF turns on Garcia and brutally beats him bloody. Hits him with the Dynamite Diamond ring, knocks him down. He's, then what happens is these officials try to get on the apron. He knocks him off the apron. Security, one by one, knocks him off the apron with the Dynamite Diamond ring. And then he uses that ring to continue to beat Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is bloodied. A crimson mass, as that saying goes. And then he just leaves him there, pointing to him, saying, see, look what happens. Look at this guy right here. He was just berating him, even though he was already bloodied and laid out and all that stuff. And the thing about it, though, is I guess this puts some needed attention on their match at Wembley. Hasn't been made official, but I think Daniel Garcia definitely is going to check him up on that challenge now. And I'm just thinking, this is going to happen at All In. And I was like, because Lord, this match was a head scratcher for me. I'm like going, why would MJF challenge him? So when he challenged him, I think a lot of people are going, Why? Who cares? What story's behind this? Here's the story now. There you go. Can't sneeze at that. You can't be like, oh, okay, they're gonna have a match. Now it's like it's gonna be a blood feud now. It's gonna be like something that's going to be pretty promising. These two are young. These two are like 25, 26, however old these guys. I know Daniel Garcia is 25. I'm trying to remember what Max. I think Max is the same age, maybe a little older, maybe 26. But these two are amongst the pillars. I don't know if they're still saying that. With Jack Perry and with Sammy Guevara, right? Those are the four pillars, right? Where's Daniel Garcia? Where's Sammy Guevara? Is he still suspended? But there you go. And that's a good way to end it. You end it with some blood. You end it with a little bit of color to show that, Dynamite, Tony Khan wanted to put on a show. And he succeeded. This was a great edition of Dynamite. Getting better and better every week. Some weeks ago, it was shit in the bed. Now, they cleaned off the bed and it's nice, clean, smelling nice drapes. I mean, not drapes, but, bedding and a blanket and some nice fluffy pillows. And it looks good now. Now it's pristine and it's getting better and better. It's looking good. Smelling fresh, right? And that's what they need to do. Build that momentum towards their next pay-per-view, And I can't wait to see what happens with this feud. Also with Mercedes Mone and Brit Baker, right? What's going to happen with Stat and Willow? Are they going to continue their feud? Right? Will they revisit that? Let's say if Willow does go on and she beats Toni Storm, will we see a championship match between the two former friends? There's a lot of things to think about in the future. What's going to happen? What about Will Osprey? Is he going to try to get himself back into world title contention? I mean, even the commentators, even myself, and I'm sure a lot of people are saying that he is going to be a world champion. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'd like to have a prominent match at Wembley, right? Yeah. That's in his home country, if I'm not mistaken, right? That's his home country, right? So, I'm sure he wants to be there. But we'll see. But a very good edition of Dynamite. The Beach Break edition. There's another continuation of Beach Break at Rampage. I don't know if they're going to do that on Collision. I will see if I watch it. We'll see. If not, I'll just go on the AEW YouTube channel and I'll watch the match between Hikaru Shida and Mariah May if they post it up on their website. On their YouTube page. YouTube channel, I should say. But anyway, that is my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And in closing, well, not in closing, I gotta stop thinking that because that's another channel that I used to have. So again, thank you very much for stopping by. And until next time, take care and I will see you in my next video.